Hi, today we are talking about the idea of control. Now, we're coming to the end of the pandemic right now, and it's felt like out of control this past 14, 15 months, right? During the global pandemic. So we've lost control of a lot of things. Like we could not control what the government was saying about like the mask mandates or not. We couldn't control whether this or not was happening. So a lot of the past year has felt like we're just out of control. And when you're out of control, when you can't control certain things, you start to lose happiness. So if you're feeling like the joy has left you and you're getting run down and tired and you're just fatigued and drained, it's largely because things have been out of our control. So we have to really switch our focus to what we can control. So I wanted to share two things with you. So the first is this book. Oops. This book. It's called The Happiness Advantage by Shawn Achor. And in it, he actually talks about the 7 principles of positive psychology. And one of them is control. So to actually be happier, you need to work within things that you can control. So you can't control other people. That means your spouse or partner. That means your kids. That means your clients. You can't control whether they're going to buy or not. So the only thing you can control is your specific actions. And when you can control those are what can lead to happiness. Gaining control over what you actually can control. Now, when you think about goal setting, a lot of times we'll set goals that are out of our control. Like we'll say we want to make 6 figures in sales this year. Or we put some sort of number, like a monetary investment on our goals, when really that's not within our control because we don't control our clients' buying power. Like they control whether or not they're going to buy from us. So what we can control is how many emails we send, how many offers we put out in front of them, how many times we post on social media with a call to action in it. Those are within our control. So if you're feeling like you need to start ramping up business again, or even if you're just feeling like you need to be happier at this point in time, start working on the things you can control and really give this some deep thought that you can't control other people. So if you're setting goals that actually have to do with controlling other people, they're ultimately not going to work and they're not going to lead to happiness. And right now, we just need more joy in our lives. I want to give you a personal example. So when my daughter turned 4, shortly after she turned 4, she just started like yelling every day. Like we had this very negative vibe going in the house, and she was uncooperative. She didn't want to do anything that I asked of her. Everything was a fight, and it got to the point where I had to hire a parenting specialist to help me with this situation because whatever I tried didn't work. Like I couldn't bring happiness to her. And what this parenting specialist said to me was, well, she needs more control. We talked through a lot of different scenarios, and what she determined was that my daughter needed more control. And it turns out like the more that I was controlling of her, the more she was less in control of her own choices. And that was just making her so unhappy. And she was 4, right? So she couldn't articulate that to me. She couldn't say, Mommy, I need more control. She also didn't say, I want to do this myself. So she wasn't really helping me to figure it out either. But once I started giving her back control over what she was eating for lunch, even if it wasn't the healthiest, she had that control to choose. She also got to choose what she was wearing for the day, even if it was butterfly wings and a leotard, which it's hard to let your child go out in public like that. At least it was for me. But it gave her control. And slowly, as she learned that she had control over more things and I wasn't this control freak trying to control her, because ultimately that wasn't working, we were having this very negative relationship. But as she had more control, things got a lot better and improved our relationship. So it was one of those key points in my life where I was like, I do have that control freak tendency, but I need to give that up because I'm trying to control another person. It's causing a lot of stress in our household. and is making my daughter so unhappy. So, just a couple examples of how you can use control. You do need control, but over the things you can control to move forward out of this global pandemic and to bring happiness back into our lives. Because really, that's what we need right now, is more happiness, to feel in control of the little things, super small things. So if you enjoyed this video, I appreciate a like or a comment, and look forward to future videos. See you next time.